as ESADE, IESE, and Ramon Llull University in Spain. And he has been a speaker in more than 40 countries. So thanks for being here. Let's start.
One thing, sorry. Aunque estàs fent amb streaming, si no us posa el micro, no es grava. So, we need to use the microphone. It's because of streaming. This session is online, so we need to talk like this. I'm sorry.
Okay, everything is very strange today.
Well, it's like a job.
Okay, are you sure you're in the right session or no? Yes? Okay. Maybe we can introduce ourselves. No? Previously?
So, I'm Pierre-Emmanuel from France. I'm a JCI member, not observer. But, and I work in IT for a public bank in France, OSEO. Okay, and I belong to a union in this company.
Okay, and credit union?
No, a union, like a syndicate. Okay. So I understood that you were a social entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Okay, I'm Gerd from Switzerland. I live in Zurich and I'm an engineer. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Skirmunda. I am coming from Lithuania. In JCI I have been for 7 years. Now I'm the senator. And on business, Lithuania, Lithuan. And at the moment I'm working at the leading daily business newspaper and I'm organizing business conferences.
Hello, I'm Yeva, also from Lithuania, and working as an engineer in a gas company.
Hi, my name is Krista Vanhala, and I'm from Helsinki, Finland, and I work as a recruiter in Hewlett-Packard in Finland.
Hello, I'm Mireia, I'm from Barcelona. I have my own little, I don't know how to call it, but it's a translations agency. Thank you. Translations agency.
Hi, I'm Miriam. I'm from Barcelona. I'm an engineer as well, working in Hewlett-Packard. Okay.
Okay, so maybe we can adapt the session because I'm a bit bored about talking always about the same. So maybe we can make something a bit different. Talking about, if you like it, about social entrepreneurship. Have you heard about that? Or you prefer to talk about the finance model? What do you prefer? Social entrepreneurship, maybe. Okay. I don't know if you know Ashoka. Have you heard of Ashoka? Something you have to review. Ashoka is the most important social network of social entrepreneurs. The idea. What do you know about social entrepreneurship? Have you heard? Never? No? Social entrepreneurship? Nothing? It's a new concept that's coming more and more. No? And it's based on the idea that things in the world has to be changed. But NGOs are not maybe doing as good as we expected, and companies are not really helping to solve big problems in the world. No? So there are some big issues still in the world which has to be attacked in a new way. That's our point of view of social entrepreneurs. For instance, there's hunger in the world. Tell me some big problems that you think that are still a big issue in the world. Sorry? What more? Unemployment, no? Like a big...
Use of natural resources or unlimited.
environmental issues. What more?
Coping with natural disasters.
Program obsolescence.
Of?
Program obsolescence. Obsolescencia programada.
Ah, yes.
Big difference between rich people and poor people.
Yes. What more?
War.
Sorry? Conflicts.
Water.
Water?
That water is getting more
Yes.
scarce.
Like a big issue. It's not only this, but it's an issue of health over a lot of things. What more? Illiteracy, for example. I think it's a big issue. It's incredible that we're in 2011 and there's so many illiterate people. No? There's still hunger. That's incredible, no? There's still hunger. So, and humanity has progressed so much, and we still have this kind of things. It's incredible. And maybe we expected that in the beginning that governments were going to solve the problems, politicians. Do you think they are the ones who are going to solve these problems? Maybe they are part of the problem. Maybe they will be part of the solution, but probably not the leaders in the solution. That's my point of view. What more? Companies? Do you think companies will solve the problems? Some of the issues, if some companies don't change their mind, if they don't see this as an opportunity, if they see it as a problem, as something that doesn't goes with them, banks, for example. We were talking about banks this morning. If they're too much obsessed in making money and not giving access to money to a lot of people, probably they will have 20% of the population as customers, but they will leave out 80%. No? So you're seeing that some companies are good in adapting their products to people. They are innovative, some of them. Some companies, you know, that are not. But some things are changing, but probably they are not the leading ones who will solve these problems, because there are so many years that companies have been existing and governments, and there are NGOs. We expected that NGOs were going to solve the problem. What do you think?
They make aware of the problem.
They are making us aware, they are making lobby to politicians, but probably they are not solving them. They are making, in Spain we call it parches, you know? How do you say it? Sticks. Sticks. They are not going to the structural problem. They are just giving money to a little boy, to, I don't know, to study something. But they are not transforming in, because these are very big problems. You cannot attack them with very small solutions. What's happening with NGOs, that's my point of view, is that some problems are getting bigger and bigger. For example, this gap is getting bigger and bigger. And these issues are getting bigger and bigger, so we're running out of time more and more. And the solutions are like this. They are not bad, but the gap is... So, do I explain myself? So, some problems are getting exponentially. For example, migration. Not as a problem, but something happening in Europe very much. When a lot of NGOs are working with migrant people, thousands of migrants are coming, you know. So we need exponential solutions, and nobody's doing it. That's the reality. Nobody's really doing it. Politicians are always late. They come always late. No? Companies are focused in a small target, and NGOs are. I'm trying. Maybe I'm talking in general terms, but that's the sensation. There's a new sector, I would say, called social entrepreneurs. No? Maybe the most known in Ashoka is Muhammad Yunus. Maybe you have known about him. Do you know? Muhammad Yunus, his Nobel Prize, he made the microcredit concept. No? He discovered in a way that low-income people can be financeable. So they can, it can be interesting for banks to give credit to them. No? So there are some solutions that you can, it's in the middle way of NGOs because it's social, and it's in the middle way of companies because we are thinking in a entrepreneurial way of thinking. If any question, because my English is not that good, so any question you need, you just tell me. Okay? Which is the idea? The idea is we need to think of solutions which attack the structural problem. That's my point of view. Hello. Do you have your pass, VIP pass? Okay. Can you introduce yourself? Do you know the others?
Just few of them.
Okay.
No,
so the three principles of social entrepreneurs, one is we try to go to structural solutions to the cause of the problems. I will give you an example. We are working here in Spain with a solution in prisons. No? As a lot of NGOs are working in what happens after prison. No? How can we give employment to people in prison? There's a social entrepreneur called Faustino Zapico. He has developed a model, and he's transforming prison into educational centers. Instead of prisons, nowadays, you know, it's a place where you get worse than you entered. No? It's incredible, and more people are entering in a place where you get worse. It's incredible, and it's done by politicians. There are NGOs there, and it's a factory of destroying people. That's the reality. So one day, this guy who was in prison, he thought that we have to transform prisons into a place where you get better than you entered, so educational centers. That's an example. He goes to the cause of the problem. No? And next one was, is it really everyone has to go to prison, or there are other programs that people can use? Which is the structural problem. It's the person that his past has been very hard, for example. So we have to go inside the person that he realizes that he has to change. So that's going to the structural thing. The thing for me very important is it has to be efficient solutions. Not very we need to make it, we have to solve a very big problem with low resources, because there are not unlimited resources. So the idea is, how can we solve problems in the short term, but with not a lot of resources, because we don't have them. So the idea is you have to be clever there, you have to be smart, you have to think of which solutions can be very sustainable so that it goes bigger and bigger. No? Maybe here I can talk about my solution, what we're doing. Just as an example of this. We discovered, and it's something difficult to believe, but please believe me. What we're creating is small banks, it's similar to credit unions, but they're banks owned by the people. We're creating thousands of banks. We have 200,000 now in the world, but it's growing more and more, 5 million people. where people put the money themselves. Right? So what we do is, I will come back here. But what we do is we tell people that they can be self-financeable in group, right? So imagine there's a how do you call it? Chapters of JCI. There's a local chapter in Barcelona who created one of these groups. What they were thinking. Do I have the newspaper? Yes. See? Because they said that they're... When I was talking about these things 3 years ago, when JCI gave to this model the award, everyone was like, what are you talking about? It was so strange. But now more and more, I was reading the newspaper on lunch, and there's this guy called Xavier Altozano, and he said, I was funding a company, and I needed 600,000 euros. He created a company. He needed these 600,000 euros. He went to 3 banks, and they didn't give him the money. No? So he decided to create a participation, like shares. And he has already 210,000 euros already, making participation of people in the community, paying shares, buying parts of the company. He keeps the 60% of the company, but people are buying shares. So the community is financing him. What we discover is that this happens all the time. What we do is that we create a fund. It's an investment fund. It's not that we create it. We tell people how to do it. So what people do is that they put money in a fund. Okay? You can put 100 euros. Someone can put 500. It's like buying shares of an investment fund. Okay? This is done by low-income people, but also entrepreneurs. And they create a fund, a starting fund of 3,000. Let's put 5,000 euros. What do people do with this money? And there are people who they just want to put 10 euros. That's okay. No? Each share normally costs 10 euros. So you can buy 100 shares, 1,000 shares, whatever you want. Okay? Imagine that you create one of these with your friends, your community. I have one of these groups with my friends. We started 7 years ago. What can we do with this money? Think about it. We are 20 people. We know each other. We put different types of money. Maybe one project, no? But that's too risky maybe, no? What do you think about this? Is it very risky or not? Just one project, if it fails? Or maybe we just want to be risky. It's okay, we can talk and we say, no, let's make a risky thing. But a lot of people say, we don't want so much risk. No? What do people do in general? What do you think with this money? We have 200,000 groups. What do people do? They invest in themselves. They invest in themselves because the most trustful thing is investing in the community. So what they do normally is everyone can ask for credit here. Only the members who are funding this can ask for money inside. Normally it's 4 times more or 10 times more. So if you put 100, you can ask for 1,000. The more you trust in the community, the more the community will trust you. Okay? If you're not trusting too much, or you don't have the capability of investing of 100, it's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. It's normally, in our group, for example, it's 10 times more. No? Questions? It's a bank. It's a bank owned by the people, and we are shareholders, but we are also customers. Yes. Yes. Then we have to talk about this kind of things. What people do normally is that if I ask for 1,000, I need collateral. The best collateral in the beginning, now we go to the financial part. The best collateral is the group pressure. You know, if you don't pay the money, people will jump at you. They will say, it's our money, come on. And there's a methodology, so you have to return it. Normally, people meet every month. No? And in the meetings, people have to keep on returning the money. And people can put more shares, because the investment fund keeps on growing and growing and growing. So people can keep on investing there. No? So normally, it's a group pressure. But the other thing that the collateral is that normally, if you put 100 here, and you ask for 1,000, this is your collateral, right? You really owe only 900, yes? Is it right? So you will ask people to be your collateral for this 900. So you will ask this is your friend, or someone who put 2,000, you can tell him, can you be my collateral with 900 euros? My collateral, money that is already here. So there's no risk for the groups. For the group, there's no risk. It's a risk for this person, you know. But this person probably is your friend, close friend, and you will be his collateral in the future, right? Do you see it?
So you don't overpass the 5,000
here? This money keeps on growing. Every month, people buy more shares, more shares.
You're creating money.
You're not?
I'm creating money. No.
Yes, because with this 5,000, we can give a credit of 2,000, a credit of 1,000, a credit of 500, 3,500, and a credit. You can start with 4 credits. And you, as shareholders, you can decide the conditions. We can decide it, depending on the group. We can decide it, we can change it, we can... It's not difficult, it's not difficult. It's not difficult, it's a question, normally it's a question of, because you're the shareholder, but you're also the customer. So offer, one part of your brain is offer, another part is demand. So you're thinking, let's put a high interest rate because I want to have rendability for my money. For example, in Spain, it's 6% per year. Depending on the group, some groups say, no, let's make it 12% because we want a lot of money to come in. But suddenly they have too much money, so they lower the interest rate, you know? It's going to be a financial discussion, but you're not going to hit each other because in a way you're going to ask for money and you will say, no, 6. One day you will say, no, let's put it 12%. But when you ask for a credit, you will say, no, it's too high. No? And they will say, you say it. No? So it's an interesting discussion, but normally it's not a very big problem. They keep on changing that.
But how?
Who manages? It's very simple. You have to meet one per month. Normally it's rotating every month. We learn it from the tontines. No? Have you heard about the tontines? Can you explain it?
From what I know, so there is only one each time.
The tontine is a system who has been expanding all over the world. It's done here in Spain, in Tarragona. I'm sure that probably there are 1,000 tontines. I'm sure of that. Here in Tarragona. I have a list. I always carry my list of tontines. I will explain it now. No? But it's something, it has been done during centuries. This is the list of tontins in different parts of the world. Bolivia, Pasanaco, Pakistan, Comitis, Indonesia, Arisan, in India, cheat funds, in Ecuador, Cuadro, in Kenya, Chama. It's done all over the world. People don't know, but it's done. No? There are a lot of names. There's a common name called tontin, or like this, or like this. It's called roscas, also rotating organizations of saving and credit associations. It's a very simple system. This is more elaborated. The tontin normally it's 12 people, normally women. I'm sure in Lithuania there's a name for that. Ask your grandmothers about that. They put, here in Spain, they put normally 100 euros every month in January. That's 1,200. They make a lottery in January. Imagine we are 12. In January, it goes to you. Okay? This lottery. Number 7, you. In February, we put the money again. It's 12 people putting money. You cannot participate anymore in the lottery, but just keep on putting the money, because you already won the lottery. So it's going to go to you. Okay? So at the end of the year, it goes to everyone. Everyone wins the lottery. Maybe you win it in January, September. Yes? If you get it in January, it's okay. It's very stupid financially, very stupid, because if you get it in December, it's risky, because more or less risky, because if you get it in January, what's your motivation? Do you think this system works? What do you think?
You earn 100 euros per month and you put it in a case.
Yes.
No? The same thing.
Yes.
And at the end of the year, you pick it.
What would you say? Do this system works in general? Incredibly. Incredibly. It's incredible. It's very stupid.
When you put 100, you will put always 1,022, so 1,200 euros. And then, in one moment of the year or another, you will get that same money that you have been putting during the year.
So, you are earning. It's like saving. It's like saving.
If you want to save to buy a big thing,
Yeah.
rather than waiting, rather than saving up yourself, and then spending the money, possibly, you get it all one time.
It's financially very stupid, but it's working because psychologically it's incredible.
Yeah, but you said also there's no interest, so it's not growing.
No, it's not growing.
Rather than at the end of the year, it's 15.
Yes. Sorry?
Isn't it forbidden?
Is it legal?
It's, depending on the countries, it's a bit strange, because people do it in their home with their family. So it's something like, it's not a very big pyramid. No, you do it with 11 people. Policemen cannot come to your house, and you cannot lend to your father money. Yes, yes, they do it. It's done all over, but it's impossible to control because it's done. What we can do, Mark, is improve it. People are doing it. What we're doing is trying to improve this system, because this system is very smart, because it's very simple. It's very useful for people, because it's a way of savings. It's a way of saving. Psychologically, it's being forced to save, and having some money sometimes. I have to accept that I discovered this in Guatemala, and I participated in one. That's how I discovered it. And I will tell you why did I do it. And it was because I wanted to buy a bicycle. And I never had the money to buy the bicycle. I was 20. I was 20 years old, and I didn't have the money to buy a. It was a good bicycle, yes, but I never had 200 euros. So I participated because I was a student, so I never got to the end of the month, you know. So, but with this, I didn't get to the end of the month, but at least I was saving 100, 100, 100. And I got it in February, so I